viewers, and good evening. Thank you for chiming in to Cromwell's Ghost. In case you're not familiar, I'm stood outside Brunswick Centre. It's about 1:45 in the morning. It's the 14th of March, 2021. Don't forget, photography in a public place in a public space is not a crime, not just yet. And badges shouldn't grant you extra rights. So, I've been putting a lot of thought into to Baroness Jones, the lady who decided that perhaps labelling half of the UK population as predators in the making and a 6 p.m. curfew for all men. Okay, so how is this not discriminatory? Well, it is. End of. Simple as that. The events down in London with the young lady Sarah is obviously horrible, it's terrible, and it's tragic. But there are two concepts in life that I was taught, or at least I've been told over and over, and it tends to serve me well. 1. Life's unfair. 2. People will do bad crap to each other. Grip those two concepts, and anything else you can work out along the way. So, Baroness Jones apparently has been married for 20 years, has 2 daughters, so the curfew wouldn't affect her offspring. Nice. And a husband of 20 years. It's a long time. I wonder how he felt that day when he watched his wife talk about men in such a way that basically she's labelled him a potential rapist and murderer. Not all men are rapists, not all of them, not all, but some. But no, that isn't the direction I want this to go in. What I've really been trying to think about here for the last couple of days is how are we supposed to move on in which particular direction? I personally would like to talk about personal responsibility and safety. And sometimes a predator by its very nature is sneaky, crafty, powerful, and will use whatever advantage it has to overwhelm its prey. And we can see this all the time. Lions, gazelles, crocodiles versus whatever it tries to munch on that particular day. Hawks swooping down, taking small rodents off the ground. We are basically still part of that animal kingdom. As much as we try to distance ourselves from it, as much as we try to forget and try to drape ourselves in this idea of civilization. I'm all for law and order, and I think men should also be gentlemen and protect women, and that's what it was for. And we've done this throughout the ages. And what I mean by that is we've built roads, we've built houses, sanitation products, medical advances, education, everything, as much as we can possibly do to not only make the lives of women better and easier, more efficient, more safer, but for the benefit of society as a whole, both men and women. And the idea that we can somehow curtail that, box men in, tell them a 6 p.m. curfew, all that you've done in the past, forget it, waste of time. And then you've got this third wave feminism. So they've come out. Well, 95% of combatants throughout the world per year, on average, happen to be men that get killed. About 85% of people who die in the workplace happen to be men. And the feminists have now garnished this situation and said, well, what do you expect? You have gender pay gap, inequality, and men just seem to think that they can carry on doing whatever they want because it's all laid out before them. I never had that discussion. I don't I don't think there are roving bands of men out there sitting around going, do you know what? You know what's a good idea? That rape. That raping. That group rape. You know, the bit where we can just go around the towns and the cities and just do a bit of plundering, a bit of raping. Maybe turn the rape into a murder. No, that conversation doesn't occur. Because throughout the ages, men have protected women. We've protected them from wars, we protect them from the elements. Men went out, hunter. They are the ones that faced the animal predators, the woman, hunter-gatherer, kept the home safe, kept the home steady. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a noble thing to do. Do we share that responsibility now? Yeah, why not? Because we're able to. Because our society has got to this certain point where we're able to say, okay, maybe we can allocate this responsibility to these people and maybe we could share it out. Or maybe you could just let men and women get on with their lives and actually figure it out for themselves, because there's not as daft as they actually appear. As much as the state would like to make you think that you're stupid and you're not able to make your own decisions and not able to weigh up information, dissect it, and then let it sort of sink in, and then you're able to make an informed decision. Don't let that happen. Doesn't need to. I think the conversation now is, if we can't have a reasonable dialogue about what we can reasonably do, then we might already be lost. I think we have to have a reasonable, rational discussion. And I think, like anything, we can work together to solve it, or at least attempt to find a solution. I think panic alarms and defensive sprays, working within the confines of what law is in the United Kingdom. I think we have some tools available to help defend women who are walking the street, walking home late at night, finishing work, or even in the daytime. I think there are legal assets that are available that would maybe be able to take the edge off, to maybe give the woman that slight tactical advantage. You pull the panic alarm, 138 decibels, causes a lot of attention. Predators don't like that. People start to turn around, people start to take a look. It's not good. They're not expecting you to put up a fight. You then surprise them, pull a spray in the face, in the eyes, slows them down. Maybe they can't quite see you enough. Maybe all of a sudden the surprise attack that you've given them has made them think twice. Maybe now it's giving people time and opportunity to maybe come to your help, to your aid. But I don't think changing the law to change what's in a potential person's heart is the way forward. There's also, I've been thinking about this, a slight flaw to the 6 p.m. curfew problem. And I think it's something that maybe Baroness, living in a big massive mansion with a 50 acres surrounding her house, probably has a shotgun tucked under the bed, you know, where she's safe and protected, probably lives in a nice area where crime next to nil, and doesn't live like the rest of us, you know, because I go for a walk in town and I still have to put my armour on because it turns out that men are targets of violence too. Who'd have thought? So, what am I talking about? This whole, you know, the flaw in their argument. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. So, this 6 p.m. curfew, and what we have here is quiet, dead streets. So this is 1 a.m. So, potential predator-wise, am I missing a trick? But it seems pretty slim pickings here for a predator. There's just no one about for us to have. So if we have a bimble about, and we'll just take a bit of a walk. Because here's the irony, Baroness Jones, right? 99.9% of the population happy to be tucked up home in bed right now. See that? Oh, look at that, quiet street. Oh, no targets there. No targets here. Oh dear. So where do we go next? What do we do? So let's take a look. See what we have. What's available? Oh, look at that. Nothing. Nothing available. Nothing available. PM. She said it'd bring out lower discriminatory behaviour. Well, giving access to the streets because you feel unsafe and insecure, well, perhaps maybe more police patrolling the streets on foot might be an idea. Perhaps there are alternatives to actually, house arresting half the population for a crime they haven't committed. Might be preferable not to accuse men of becoming, potential rapists and predators and murderers. Maybe. Just maybe. Just maybe you could put some thought into that. I don't know. Could be wrong. So, what's the solution? I'm unsure. But I definitely think it's not locking people up for a crime they haven't committed. Because I'm pretty sure, based on the fact that if it's 1 AM and I should be at home already, and the only threshold criteria for me being at home is because I have a penis and not a vagina, that just seems a little bit, discriminatory. Life's unfair. Bad people do crap to each other.